Hello everybody, how are you doing? This is just going to be a quick little follow-up video. The other day when I turned this European fountain pen, I mentioned there were some things about it that I didn't really care for. And I wanted to compare and contrast it to this, which is a classic Elite fountain pen, and just kind of let you know what my thoughts were. Let's take a closer look at these two pens. There is a bit of difference. This one is done up in gunmetal and gold. This one is straight gold. However, I don't think that'll be an issue if we are comparing pen components. We'll start off with the classic Elite. I want you to take a look at just how nice the finish is on that. It really is a beautiful pen. Now this pen I've been using for about 6 months, and it's taken a little bit of a beating being in my pocket, but it still looks nice. The hardware is well finished. It's clean, it's smooth. I like the way it fits. Take a look at how fine those threads are. Let's go ahead and pull the body of the pen out. Nice smooth threads. It is just all around a very nice looking pen. Let's take a quick look at the European. If you look at the finish of the pen, the finish I guess is not all that bad. I just don't like how plain it is. The cap is it's just a domed cap. It doesn't have any faceted work. It doesn't have any really nice appeal to it, so it looks rather plain. I'm not super happy with the back end either. It's just a black cap. And one of the things that I really dislike about this, let me pick this one back up, is the back end of this pen actually threads off. Now I don't know why you would need it to come off, but it is just nice to know that it's removable. If something were to happen, I could flip the body of the pen around. I could move this to the back end and put the nib on this end. Say, for example, the kit needed to match grain and I initially assembled it incorrectly. With this kit, we'll talk about, notice how loose that is. We'll talk about that in a second. With this kit, I have to press the cap in. There are threads on the inside of this, and I press it in, which has to damage those threads. So my thought is, if I was to knock this out, I don't know that I would be able to thread the nib into the other end of this pen. I want you to take a look at the threads on this pen and compare them to the classic Elite. Notice how fine those threads are. What I've noticed about this pen is if it is in your pocket, it tends to loosen up, and the cap is always loose on this thing. I never have that issue with this particular pen. Beyond that, the gold ring, it's finished nicely. This isn't bad. It's got the little chamfer on it. The clip isn't bad. If we open it up, you'll notice you've got the same large threads here. This part of the pen, I don't think it looks that bad in black and gold. I actually kind of like the look of that. That's not bad at all. But other than that, I'm just not real happy with the fit and finish. I don't like the fact that when I pick this up, it always seems like the cap is loose. And I think that's attributed to the larger threads. Now, when it comes to writing with these two pens, I have been using this pen for about 6 months, and I have issues where the pen will go dry or the pen will skip when I'm writing with it. It'll just stop writing, and I've got to shake it to get it started again. And that's frustrating. You know, it really is frustrating when you're taking notes and you have to stop and shake your pen. So I'm not happy with that. I had heard that these Europeans used really nice nibs. So when I assembled the European, I was hoping, okay, maybe the fit and finish isn't all that great, but maybe the nib is going to be awesome, and maybe I could use this nib on this pen or even use these nibs to make a custom pen. Unfortunately, I'm having the same issue with this nib. Both of them are, I believe, iridium. They do not, for some reason, and maybe it is an adjustment issue, maybe you need to adjust the pens, but for some reason, both of them stop writing, and both of them require being shaken to get the ink flowing again. And that's just very, and if they set for any period of time, they go dry. So it's very frustrating. Now, they are using two different methods for ink. On the European, I'm using just a standard ink cartridge, and this is the third different cartridge. I used the cartridge that came with the pen. It did not work. I ordered some cartridges online. I had the same issue where it would go dry, it would stop writing. I went to a local pen store and bought a pack of cartridges. So 3 different cartridges, 3 different brands, and the same problem. I have used a bulb syringe, and I have flushed this pin between the use of each cartridge. So the pin has been flushed twice. I let it dry overnight before inserting a new cartridge, and the problem did not go away. With the European, the European pin uses a plunger fill system. Basically, I twist this clockwise, the plunger comes back. I twist it counterclockwise, and the plunger goes forward. So you will insert the nib into the ink, twist it clockwise, it sucks ink into this reservoir, and then I can twist it back counterclockwise just a hair till maybe a dot of ink comes off of the end of the pen so that I know the ink is flowing, and then it is ready to use. I do not have an issue with the piston filling system. That seemed to work fine. And this was actually kind of nice compared to the cartridge, because when the pen did stop and get dry, I could give this a little bit of a twist as opposed to shaking it and restart the pen. However, I did have to remove the body to do so. And now for a few final words on these pens. I will probably never turn another European fountain pen. The fit and finish turned me off immediately. As soon as I saw it come out of the bag, I have not been happy with it at all. If the pen wrote well, that would have been a redeeming quality, and I would have probably taken a chance on another one. In regard to the Classic Elite, love the kit, love the fit and finish, dislike the nib. So quite honestly, I probably will not turn another Classic Elite. I am right now in the market for another fountain pen kit, one that has a decent nib. So far, I have not found that. Recently, I purchased a Junior Gent, and it is a fountain pen, so we'll be assembling that soon in a video, and I can't wait to see how it writes. I hope it has a better nib than the two of these. By now, you guys are familiar with me, and I am a very upbeat, very positive person. I get excited about things, and I love to share them with you. And I hope I didn't come across as being overly negative about the Classic Elite or the European fountain pen kits. I just felt like I owed you guys 100% complete honesty. And after using the European for a little over a month and a little over 6 months on the Classic Elite, I can honestly say that I was underwhelmed by both of these kits, and probably will not spend my hard-earned money or my time to turn either one of them again. Now, I'm not going to mention the companies that I purchased them from. I don't think that's relevant here because I don't want to send any negative energy their way. They're great companies. I just did not care for these particular kits, and we all have kits we like, and we all have kits we dislike, so take that with a grain of salt. I really appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I want you to know that you are always welcome in my shop. Come back and see me again real soon, and have a great evening.